Joe Biden lied about his Social Security record, and the media protected him.
My Lord, Bernie, you're running ads saying I'm opposed to Social Security, that PolitiFact says is a flat lie, and that the Washington Post said is a flat lie.
Oh, well, let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
You're right here with me.
Yeah.
Have you been on the floor of the Senate? You were in the Senate for a few years.
Yeah.
Time and time again, talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No.
You never said that.
No.
All right. America, go to the website right now. Go to the YouTube right now. Time after time, you were not a fan of Bo Simpson?
I was not a fan of Bo.
You were not a fan of the balanced budget amendment, which called for cuts in Social Security? Come on, Joe, you won't.
Look, here's the deal.
You're an honest guy. Why don't you just tell the truth here? We all make mistakes.
I am telling the truth. You said that why am I rated 96% by the Social Security organizations? Why am I viewed as a strong supporter?
All that I said.
I have laid out how I will increase Social Security.
Well, that's good. I laid that out.
I have laid out how I'm going to make sure that it is in fact paid for.
Jake.
Go to joebiden.com. Look at my exchange with Paul Ryan on his desire to try to privatize and or cut Social Security.
Okay.
And understand how he manipulated it.
No, all right. Joe, let me repeat it again. I want you just to be straight with the American people. I am saying that you have been on the floor of the Senate time and time again talking about the need to cut Social Security, Medicare, and veterans programs. Is that true or is that not true?
No, it's not true.
That is not true?
That is not true. What is true is, in terms of the negotiations that are taking place, how to deal with the deficit, everything was on the table. I did not support any of those cuts in Social Security or in veterans benefits.
Whoa. Everything was on the table. All right, you're right. You just said it, including, in your judgment, cuts to Social Security and veterans.
In order to get the kinds of changes we need on other things related.
Joe, then
but we did not cut it.
I know, because people like me helped stop that. But Joe, you just contradicted yourself. One minute you said I was not on the floor. The next minute you say, well, yes, there was a reason why I was worried about the deficit. Maybe that's good reason, maybe it's not. All that I am saying is you were prepared to cut and advocated for the cuts of programs.
I did not. I never voted to cut Social Security.
Not talking about voted, Joe. That's not what I said.
Well, look, I voted to protect it. Just go look at the debate with Paul Ryan for the vice presidency. Look at what I did. And Bernie, will you acknowledge your campaign took out of context that whole exchange between Paul Ryan? Are you saying PolitiFact is wrong? Are you saying?
Yeah, well, believe me, the Washington Post PolitiFact is wrong a whole lot of times.
But are they wrong on that, Bernie?
Okay.
Are they wrong on that, Bernie?
Bernie,
did you miss?
Joe, wait a minute. I'll answer your question. You answer mine.
I answered yours.
No, you didn't.
All right.
One more time. Were you on the floor time and time again, for whatever reason, talking about the need to cut Social Security and Medicare and veterans programs?
No, I did not talk about the need to cut any of those programs.
Okay. All that I would say to the American people, go to YouTube. It's all over the place. Joe said it many, many times. And I'm surprised, you can defend or change your mind on it, but you can't deny the reality.
So, Senator, because you brought up Social Security and you've been talking about it, I want to ask you about something that you wrote in 1996. You were a member of the House. And you wrote an op-ed that said, quote, "It is clear we will have to make incremental adjustments in Social Security taxes and benefits."
You see what happened at the end there? The media jumps in to try to protect Biden. How do you have that with you? How do you have that on you? You have something that Bernie was saying in 1996 in front of you? Weird. It's almost like you knew that Bernie was going to hammer Biden on that, and Bernie is correct. So you're trying to run interference and help. And that's exactly what they did. Now, by the way, they're completely full of it. When Bernie said we need adjustments to Social Security, he means raise the cap. Raise taxes on the rich to continue to fund it fully. Biden's not talking about that. Biden's talking about either changing the retirement age or changing moving to a chain CPI, which changes the cost of living increases to reduce it, which is a cut. So, but Bernie helped found the Protect Social Security Caucus, and what the media is trying to do is hey, no, it's a wash because you both wanted to make changes. No, except Biden's changes are cuts and Bernie's changes are raising taxes on the wealthy, raising the cap. Right now, you only pay Social Security taxes on about $120,000 worth of income. He wanted to get rid of that cap so that, instead of a doctor and LeBron James paying the same amount in Social Security tax, he wants LeBron James to pay more because he has way more income. That's the adjustment Bernie's talking about. Biden's talking about cutting it. But the media jumped in. And listen, I'm sorry, but this does tell you a big problem in this race. And that problem is it was never just Bernie versus Biden. It was always Bernie versus the entire political and media corporate establishment. It was Bernie versus all the other candidates, and it's Bernie versus the media. And he has a lot of firepower, and he does well, but he couldn't override all of them. He couldn't overcome all of them. And don't think this will be forgotten, because it won't. What I'm calling Bloody Monday, which is the turning point of the race, namely Amy Klobuchar and Mayor Pete dropping out and endorsing Biden, that day alone radicalized a whole new generation. Because they saw, in order to even make the race competitive, in order to give Biden a fighting chance, you needed all the king's horses and all the king's men, and Obama behind the scenes making a phone call, getting them to drop out and endorse Biden, Warren staying in the race to siphon votes from Bernie. You needed the perfect storm to come together to defeat Bernie. So they would rather have a neoliberal corporatist with severe cognitive decline run against Trump and lose than win with a social democrat. So all I have to say is, don't you dare come back asking for people's votes. Because it's one thing if you win fair and square. Hey, everything was on the up and up. This wasn't on the up and up. We saw what happened in Iowa with the app that Mayor Pete and his team helped pay for, and then they're saying Mayor Pete won even though Bernie got 6,000 more votes. We see what's going on. We saw what happened with that. We see how in every single state, the ones that Bernie wins, oh, look at that, it's stuck at 80%. They're trying to count the votes, but it's stuck at 80%. Anyway, Biden states 100% right away and see he's winning, and here, we're going to allocate all the delegates. Bernie states, sorry, we have a bunch of outstanding delegates that we haven't allocated. Guys, we're not idiots. We see this. To people who watch this show and pay attention, they see what's going on. They see how biased it is against him. They see the media is on Joe Biden's side. And then again, they're going to have the nerve to come to you after and be like, you're going to vote for Biden, right? If you had an open, fair, honest process where we felt like we weren't cheated from the beginning, I'm sure many people would. But in a situation like this, there are a lot of people who are going to check out and say, yeah, not happening. Not happening. Now, the final thing I'll say on this is Biden is just a liar. He's lying, and he's doing it as brazenly as Trump. He really is. And the funny thing is watching Bernie be surprised that Biden is lying. Dude, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? They've done every dirty trick in the book to take you down. And now you're surprised that he's going to tell a lie about something like this? Of course he's going to lie about it. Because he has no out, Bernie. He has no out. These people don't like you. I know you like Biden. They don't like you. They don't respect you. They don't agree with you. So he'll just lie to your face. And the crazy thing is, Biden will probably get away with it. He'll probably get away with it. In the same way that Trump, in his debates, when he would lie, he would just bulldoze over his opponents. And, the people would be like, damn, I know I'm right, but he's saying he's not right, and he's more forceful than I am, so he might get away with it. Just like Trump got away with it, Biden might get away with it. And, listen, it's on Bernie to have been more aggressive all along, certainly post Super Tuesday after Bloody Monday. After then, you had to go all systems go, bro. You had to adjust your strategy because now you need not just 30% to win or 35%, you need 51%. Got to adjust your strategy and go for the jugular. After Super Tuesday 2, there was no question. You had to go Insky. And this isn't that. This is like, he's expecting Joe Biden to be like, yeah, I advocated cutting Social Security. He's not going to say that. He's been lying all along. He's going to keep lying. I don't know why you're surprised. That's where he should have said, Joe, you're lying. But he didn't. He go to YouTube. It wasn't aggressive enough in my opinion. But he's a liar. And just so everybody knows, when people talk about, I'm trying to reform Social Security, or I'm trying to save it, or, put it on the table, or I'm putting every option on the table. That's all code word for cut it. Let's change the cost of living increases. Let's raise the retirement age. Those are all effective cuts. And Joe Biden was trying to say, no, I wasn't cutting it. I was saying reform it. I was saying, I was saying we need to put everything on the table. All weasel words, and what they mean is cut. And there are endless videos of Biden bragging about it on the floor of the Senate. So, he supported Republican budgets in the late 90s. The idea that he's acting like I wasn't in favor of cuts. Of course you were. You supported the entire freaking Republican budget. So, anyway, Biden is a liar, and it's shameful, and it's disgusting. And, this is why, by the way, he's winning with older voters and getting obliterated with younger voters. 80% of younger voters are with Bernie. Why? Because, those younger voters are much more likely to check stuff and Google stuff and fact check. And we see everything you're saying is BS, man. We see right through you. You're lying on a Trump-like level. So no, I don't respect that. No, I don't respect you. And don't come asking for my vote. If you've been cheating Bernie all along, you pulled out every dirty trick in the book, and now you're just outright lying. You could piss off.